Well, hello and welcome to Wellness Wednesday Live here on the 60 Up members page. My name is Kathy Stevens and I'm here every Wednesday at 9 a.m. and I welcome all of you that are here today. And I'm going to do a little something special today, something a little bit different in honor of the fact that, as I mentioned in my post, this is ALS Awareness Month. Now, that is a very serious neurodegenerative disease, and I'd like to take a second just to go over something to let everybody kind of get in and get ready for the workout today. We will be doing a workout, but I'd like to start off, and I'm just gonna test the waters today and see how it goes with a screen share and see if I can figure out how to do that on today's workout as we get started. Let's see. I don't see that option right now. Well, there goes that idea, huh? I was really hoping to be able to share a little bit more about ALS through my screen. I'm going to give this one more try and see what happens. It's not letting me do it. But hi, Pat. How are you today? So nice to see you, and hope another couple other people are going to join us before we get started. I was just trying to see if there was a way that I could do a screen share and show you a few things that are very reflective of ALS. But in any case, I'm gonna kind of talk you through it. Can't share my screen. I can't quite figure that out. Maybe next time. But for those of you that don't know, ALS stands for amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. And in the past, it was most often referred to as Lou Gehrig's disease. It is a progressive neurodegenerative disease that affects nerve cells in the brain, spinal cord, and muscular system, and ultimately hinders one's ability to walk, talk, and breathe. People often wonder how long you can survive with ALS, and unfortunately, today, it is still a fatal disease with the average life expectancy after diagnosis being about 2 to 5 years. But the good news, because I hate to just be doom and gloom here, is that there are many new treatments on the horizon, and that some of these treatments may allow patients to live for years and decades and hopefully even lead to a cure. Now, one of the organizations that I represent, ACTS ALS, is out there trying to gain awareness and raise funds for research and for the long-term survival of ALS patients. And what ACTS ALS is it is basically an organization that was put together by the friends and family of Eric Stevens, my nephew. And they are on a mission to effect change in the world for people diagnosed with ALS. Eric and his wife Amanda were married in 2019, and shortly after their wedding, he was diagnosed, unfortunately, with ALS. And it started him really thinking about where he was going to go, how he was going to deal with this diagnosis, and it led to what we call Stevens Nation, the birth of Stevens Nation, which actually began with all the Stevens members in a community that was so supportive of not only family issues but community issues, and they all band together because Eric was a football player. He played for Cal, he played professionally for the Rams, and then he retired to become an LA County firefighter, LA City firefighter. And so all of those groups, his community, his firefighting group, as well as his ex-college and professional football leagues, joined in to help him raise awareness for the ACTS ALS project. Now, what can we be doing? There is a website, and I've pasted it up here many times, but I'll do it again. And it's for trying to help understand the FDA regulatory pathways and to get bills put on the Congress floor that can give the right to try and expanded access to some of these treatments that I mentioned earlier could be really life-saving and time-saving or time-generating for people with ALS. So I would hope that you would go to the website if you're listening to me. It is iamals.org. iamals.org. So the letter I, amals.org. And I'll post that, where you can fill out a form that they provide to ask your Congress people to have a hearing with the FDA on ALS to make a change and make a difference. So you can take action in that way. And that's the awareness I'm trying to bring forth this month to help get the FDA to implement their guidelines, as well as to change some of those guidelines so that treatment is more available with less placebo testing. Right now, it's very limited. And on, again, a great note, hope does grow for ALS patients with these treatments, and for my family in particular, as Eric and Amanda have added to their family and they have their first child, Peyton, to bring them joy and happiness. And we hope that they'll be able to share that joy and happiness for many years to come. So you can follow them on Facebook by going to Team Stevens Nation or www.stevensnation.com to find out more about how you can get involved with the cause. So that's my little soapbox for today. Good to see that Vicky's in, and Mona, and of course Pat. And we're going to go ahead and get started with our workout. Today, my workout is focusing on mobility, strength, and stability. And I'm going to circuit those things together on the 60-up board. You will need, obviously, the 60-up board. I would also like you to have your short tubes or tubing handles, the shorter versions, attached to the outside. And if you don't know how to attach those, or you just don't care to today, you can just still do the movements without the tubes or use dumbbells. And then I will use one of the long bands, but not attached. So if you can have one long band and your short bands attached, we'll be using that for the strength segment. Of course, as always, I need you to have water nearby. So let's get our waters out there. Hi, Betsy. Good to see you again. And we are just ready to get started, so you're not late in the room. Hopefully you guys are ready for a great workout. In honor of ALS, we're going to be working those muscles and that brain-body connection as always. So I'm going to put a little background beat on, and I can see you guys in the chat box, which is always awesome. Hi, Betsy. So if somebody feels like they're not able to hear me, or the music is too loud, let me know. I'll check in with the chat box and of course chat it up towards the end of the workout as well. Let's get moving. All right. I always like for you to have a chair nearby as well, because it's always nice to have the option to sit down and take a break. And if you're feeling a little off center today, a little wobbly, place the chair behind you, but far enough behind you that you're not going to kick it with your foot. All right, so we're going to start up nice and tall. Mobility, stability, and strength is our focus today. So let's just mobilize a little by rocking side to side. Now I know you can't see my feet too well, but I'm letting the heel come up as I lean side to side. We just want to get the blood flow going. We just want to get the joints loosened and limbered as we warm it up. Shrug those shoulders side to side. Hold on to those poles and squeeze and open the fingers. Nice. My thumbs are on top. My fingers are just kind of flaring out to the side. Here we go. Rock it right and left. Now we're going to take this to the knees and bend a lunge. So I'm a little wider than shoulder width distance apart. And we're just mobilizing those joints in our warm up right now. So if you just join me, get moving. Chin up, chest up, little posture check. Keep your core tight. That means you kind of think about tightening a belt around your waistline, engaging those muscles around the core. Good job. Notice I've added a little shoulder roll, a little more mobilization here. Up and back, towards the side I'm lunging at. That's it. Here we go. 8, 7, 6, 4, 3, 2. Now center out. Let's go flat back down and roll through. Again, this is to really get that spinal column moving. Motion is lotion. Here we go. Let's loosen up that back. Get some of those synovial fluids moving. Flat back, roll up again. Let's add a nice deep breath. Here we go. One more time. All right, now standing nice and tall, turn right, and let's just hinge that heel up and down. I'm pushing my foot. I hope you can see it. My heel comes up and down to loosen and limber that ankle and those feet. Let's get that toe box stretch. heel up, arch stretch. Feel the toes make contact with the floor. We got this. Now let's take that back arm and follow the same direction as the foot. So the arm goes up as the heel comes up. Continuing, get a nice full body stretch dynamically. Up and down, up and down. Now let's just hold it right here, stretch down and up through the hip by dropping the knee towards the ground. Just a few inches up and down, really forcing that hip to stretch. We got this. Still holding on to that pole so you feel steady. Down and up. Now allow your torso to rotate just a little bit. Look away and towards me, away and towards me. 2 more. Last one, and bring it back to the center. Now rock it side to side again. Remember that little shrug of the shoulders? Good. Up and over. Excellent. Bend that knee in the direction of the toes. I have a little bit of an outward stance. My toes are turned out a little. My knees are in the direction of the toes. All right, let's turn it to the other side. Grab that pole and rock that foot. Heel up, heel down, add the arm. Good. Lift it, drop it. We got this. Welcome if you just joined me. We're warming up. Today's focus is going to be on mobility, stability, and strength. Here comes the mobilizing part of the workout. All right, from here, let's just drop that knee and lift, and lift. Good. Sink down, knee, lift. Think about opening up that hip joint, tightening those glutes a little on the way up. Here we go, 4 more. 4, head high. 3, let's twist the body now. Look away, look towards me. Again, 4 more. 3, 2, last one, and center out. Now let's bring those feet in and tap those toes. So bring the feet about, I don't know, about 2 and 2 on your board, and just hang on and tap your toes. You will need to sit back a little bit into your hips. That'll shift those knees back so you can get those toes off the ground. Nice. Let's play the piano with our fingers a little bit. Get the peripherals engaged. Nice. Tap it out. Hope you're feeling warm. Hope you're feeling loose. Here we go. In 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now step it in, step it in. Bring the feet together. So that was the mobilizing. Now let's go on to stabilizing. Ready? Right foot only, stand on the right, take the left, tap ball, floor, floor. Stabilizing on that right leg. Chin up, chest up. Work on balance. Now you can hold firmly if this is a little bit difficult, or advance it by just putting 2 fingertips on those poles. Also, if reaching to the ball is too far, then just reach to the middle line. Stabilizing with that right foot on the ground, that chin up, that chest up. 2 more. Last one, foot comes down, pedal the feet, so the heel comes up and down. Nice. We got this. Now go back and settle onto the left foot. Bring that right knee up, tap the ball and floor. Now, sometimes you have to realign a little bit. You might have to move that foot so it's a little more centered. Tap, floor. Think about keeping that outer side of the hip engaged, tightened, stable. And if that board rocks a little bit, that's okay. That's your brain figuring out what it needs to do to keep you steady and stable. Here we go. 4 more. 3, 2, and last one. Now pedal the feet, pedal the heels up and down, push the toes into the ground. Let those heels come up freely. All right, that was the stabilize. Time to strengthen. So remember, I asked you to grab a long tube off to the side. Put the looping end that doesn't have a handle under your right foot. Hold on to that handle behind your shoulder. Grab your pole on the left side and let's just push. Now, if this is too much resistance, bend your knees a little bit. That'll shorten the distance, but you have to get that band to go. Think shoulder, think tricep, arm. Put it on a shelf. Here we go. Up, down. And if you have shoulder issues, just reduce the range of motion to the pain-free range. Up, down, up, down. Strengthening that right side. Core tight, up. Beautiful. Couple more. Inhale, exhale. All right, now hold here. From here, we're just gonna bring the feet together. We're gonna bend over and switch so that loop is under the opposite shoe. Step back out, get ready for the other side. Put that tube behind your shoulder. Hold right arm on the pole, left shoulder working. Up, down. Nice deep breath, guys. Press. Working the shoulder girdle, working the tricep. Nice. Again, if this gives you any difficulty or impingement feeling in the shoulder, reduce the range. Try to stay tall and centered. Again, up, down. Good work. Stop when you need to. But our goal is to feel muscle fatigue. Let's do 4 more. Here we go. 4. Here's the strength component. 3 and 2 and 1. Relax. Let it down. Go ahead and take that tubing off your feet. Place the tube to the side. We're ready for our second circuit. So let's step up onto the board, 2 and 2, and just rock gently side to side. All right. So we're going to mobilize on top of the board. So I'd like you to look down and make sure your feet are 2 and 2. And as you're rocking, I want you to start by rocking the feet. So think the edges of the feet. Think the insides of the feet. Just change your ankle position. That's called supination and pronation, by the way. Just rocking and feeling the inner edges and rocking and feeling the outer edges. And then bring it back to more of a flat foot sensation. So put that mind connection to the pressure points of your feet. Let's do this again. Let's go inner side of the shoe or foot. Outer focus, outer side of the shoe or foot. Center focus. Excellent. That's it. Now we're going to move from the feet focus to knee focus. Bend one more than the other. Feel the weight shift from right to left quadricep or thigh muscle. Give in with that knee, and you might find that on the other leg, the heel kind of lightens up. It lightens up, not as much pressure. We're just mobilizing through the knees now, moving. And then we're going to take that shift up the hips. So now I want you to kind of give me the bump to the side. Remember the old bump on the dance floor? The hip bump. There we go. Right, left, right. And you're probably going to feel this a little bit more in the inner thigh and outer hip. Feel for the sensation. Feel for the movement. Feel for the strength. Here we go. 8, 7, 6, 5, 3, 2. Now let's use the arms and core. So lean with your chest. Lean with your shoulders. Feel that contraction as you push the shoulders, the handles, the arms, the upper body engaging. Can you feel that blood flow? Can you feel that movement flow? Can you feel how you can generate the movement of the board from different parts of your body? Make that mind-body connection right now. Here we go. 8 more. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Time to stabilize. All right, bottom out right. Hold it here. Balance. Now take that left knee and cross it over to the pull and out. The pull and out. Good. See if you can get it in the direction. Maybe you can tap the foot to the pole, staying stable on that grounded right side. Grounded. Will get more difficult later. Nice. All right, switch it up. Bottom out to the left, then from the left side, knee or foot towards the pole, bearing that weight in that left leg. Up, down, up. Stay tall. Nice. We got this. Deep breaths. 4 more. 4 and 3 and 2. Last one. Now center out. All right. From here, center out, and we're going to squat back. That'll be our strength move. Try to balance 2 and 2. Find your balance, and then slide down with your hips and up with your hips. So when you're doing this squat, I want you to really think about leading with the hip or pelvis, like you're sitting back in a chair. So sit back into that chair. Try to keep your board as level as possible. Now, obviously, it's going to wobble a little bit, and that's okay. That's the rocking action, safe and within a nice comfort zone that allows you to really have to fire more of those stabilizing muscles in the ankle, the knee, and the hip, not just the big squat muscles. So sit back like you're trying to get it into a chair behind you. Strengthening those quadricep muscles, those gluteal muscles. You got this. Keep your chest up the whole time. Notice how I'm kind of putting my hands on my poles without grabbing it with my fingers so that I can use the poles to stabilize but easily slide down into that chair squat and back up. Couple more. Wonderful. Breathe for me, guys. Here we go. 4 more. And 3. Last 2. One more time. Try to pull it all together. Excellent. Now, pivot, turn to right to the tandem stance. So in the tandem stance, you're going to have 1 foot forward. My band holder is a little bit off-centered, so this is getting me wet. I'm going to throw it off. Okay, so my front foot is level with the pole. My back foot is level with the back pole. I'm just going to mobilize, focusing a lot on my ankles, okay? So I want to lift my back heel up and lift my front toe up. So let's do a little rocking action, front and back, front, back. Once again, start with a big focus on what's happening at the feet and ankles. Let that back heel pop up, and then as you shift to the rear, let that front toe pop up. Nice. Forward and back, forward and back. Feel the peel, feel the peel of your feet on the board. Peel up, peel back, peel up, peel back. Nice. Chin up, chest up. 4 more. 3, 2. Now balance it out and just bend the knees and lift, but try not to bottom out. Just a small bend so we get more action in the hip and knee. Try to center it, center it. That's it. Try to balance that board. Balance it out. You got this. You can do it. 4 more. And 3. Try to balance the board. Stabilize it. 1. All right. Now put the weight to the front. Grab your front tube if you did attach your tubes. From a grounded forward position, let's row. 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 So I'm keeping my weight a little forward so that my board isn't rocking. We'll add the rock in a second. Pulling that arm up towards my rib cage, working those larger back muscles and of course the biceps too. The pullers. All right, now if you want to, rock back and front, adding a little more motor neuron connection. Feet and arms together, multitask. Put the weight back, put the weight front. But don't lose good attention to posture. Make sure that your spine is staying in nice alignment, head and neck in good alignment. Rock and roll, here we go. Pull and pull. Think about tweezing that shoulder blade back to the middle, towards your spine, shoulder blade. Excellent. 4 more times. 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Now hold it here. Go ahead and hook up your tubing again. Take your time to pivot front and then pivot to the other side. All right, so now tandem stance again. You have the back foot level with the back pole, the front foot with the front pole. And we start from the feet with good standing alignment. Rock and roll. And I know we might be getting a little thirsty. So in about 5 more minutes, we're gonna take a nice break to get some water. Down and up. Very important to stay hydrated because we do have a tendency to get a little dehydrated, and especially as our summer months come and go. So always have water nearby, and feel free to stop and get a sip anytime you feel the need, okay? Don't wait till you're already thirsty. Rock the feet here. Heel up, toe up. Heel up, connect. Connect in, check in. Where's the big focus here? The big focus on mobilizing is through the ankles and the feet. You've got this. Nice. Keep going. Now, what are we going to do? We're going to take it to a stabilizing stationary knee bend or lunge. See if we can take this mobility and stabilize it out. All right, so find your center, balance. Try to keep that board. I know it's going to wobble, that's okay, but try to keep it centered. Once you find center, then bend the knees just a few inches. It's not a big lunge, it's more like a 2-inch lunge. Down and up. Come on, ride that wave. Keep that head up high. Try to keep that board steady and stable. We've got this. Tighten up those thigh muscles, tighten up those gluteal muscles, tighten up that wobble. Here we go. 4 and 3 and 2 and 1, and now relax to the front. My tubing is on the floor. Sorry about that, guys. Hopefully yours is on the hook. So we're going to start here, and we're going to go ahead and get into that forward leaning row. So let's just go ahead and row it up and down, pulling that elbow to the ceiling, lifting it high, taking a nice deep breath, keeping the core strong, the head in good alignment. Keep going, pull that elbow, feel the bicep, feel the mid-back, pull and go. Here we go. Lift, release, lift, release. Nice deep breath. Now, if you want, add the rocking action. So down and up, multitasking through the legs, through the feet, through the knees, through the core. Row, down, row, back. Excellent. Keep going. Try to keep that head up, that chin up, that chest up. Make those legs, make those thighs and feet do the action. Here we go. 4 more. And 3 more. And 2 more. And last one. And then let's go ahead and put that 2 back. Come to the center. Rock down to stabilize on one side. Step back onto the ground. And then unload. And let's get some water. And let me check in with you guys real quick. Excellent job so far, everybody. All right, so let's see. I see no more comments, but I do see Betsy and everything. So hopefully I'm not missing anyone. Let's see. Oh, wait, there is a slide down here. All right, so that's it for so far comments today, but hopefully you're feeling good. You're ready for part 2. We're just about halfway through the workout. I do recommend you get some water at this point. Okay, so Vicky's going to work out with me later. Awesome. Again, reminding you that this is ALS Awareness Month, ACTS ALS, an organization very near and dear to me. Hopefully you'll look them up on stevensnation.com. Okay? All right, so a little bit of hydration. We're going to get on up and we're going to get started again. So here we go. Let's get a little bit of that beat going, and we will start from the floor this time, okay? All right, I'm not going anywhere far. I'm just getting our music set again.
Oreo, the magnum opus of cookies and milk.
That's not what I'm wanting. All right, so where were we? We were back here off to the side of our board. Now this time, I want you to start from the floor and work up. Our first mobility exercise is going to be a step up tap. So step, tap, step, down, and step, tap. Good. So you're just climbing the stairs and bringing them back down. Step, tap. Now I am allowing my board to rock and bottom out on the side I'm stepping up on. Bottom out, tap, again. Bottom out, tap, step. And I'm stepping right behind the center pole holes. Nice. Full foot on, tap. I'm only letting that weight really settle onto the first step up foot. Again, step, tap, and back. Step, tap. Good. Step, tap. Now we're going to take this up a bit and make it a little more challenging by lifting the knee. So step, knee up, step, down, step, knee up. And again, if any of these get a little too difficult, feel free to go back to the easier version or take a break and just watch. Again, step, lift. Because a lot of these moves, I try to do enough repetitions where you can say, hey, I could just do that one on my own timing. I don't need to be following someone. It's so simple, I can remember it. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to step right in the middle instead of off to those center pole holes. That's going to make it another level of challenge because you're no longer bottoming out. So we're mobilizing now, and you might start to even feel your heart kick up a notch. You might start to feel your respiration deeper, your heart beating faster, because we're doing enough movement here where it does start to mobilize your heart and your lungs. Up, lift. Try to keep that board as centered as possible as you step to the middle. Now, we're going to move this in a few more to the diagonal. Because guess what? Life doesn't always just go forward and back, does it? All right, here we go. Try diagonal. So go to 3, lift, down. Opposite 3. Now you're noticing I'm having to cross my midline with that foot. And that is also a little brain stimulating. So don't be surprised if it takes a few for you to get it. So step, knee up, step off wide, step, knee up, step off wide. And you know, don't be frustrated if there's a little coordination lag when we switch moves. That's very normal, and it's also very healthy to challenge the brain, especially with cross midline patterns. We've talked about that before. So then you get a little extra credit, a little extra bonus points for coordination. Good. Nice. How are we doing? Want to add on to this? Let's kick instead. So front, kick out, down, 2, front, kick out. Now the nice thing about this is I am bottoming out the board every time I step up. So not as wobbly, but then by adding the kick out, I'm increasing a little difficulty, a little balance difficulty, a little mobility difficulty, right? Because you can feel that hamstring stretching, can't you? I want you to also notice that my foot and knee stay in the same direction on both legs. Foot and knee plant, kick out. Again, beautiful. One more time, and then we're gonna challenge it up again and make it a hamstring curl. Step, curl. Now on this one, step onto that 2 diagonal instead of the 3. So step maybe or right behind the second pole hold. Step, hamstring. So I'm gonna lean in a little. Pole, that's so hard to say, pole hold. Middle pole hold. It's a tongue twister. Again, step, lean. And I am letting my body lean more than normal towards the pole, not so much through the pole, but towards the opposite pole. Can you see that? Towards, lift. Now we're gonna add that second, because this has all been mobility, but we're gonna add stability by doing a repeater 3 times. Ready? Step, 3, 2, 1, and down. We gotta take this on the beat. 1, 2, 3, lift, 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 step, down. Step, lift, lift, I'm going a little too fast. Lift, step, down. Step, balance, 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 step, down. Step, balance, hold on there, you got this. Again, 3, 2, 1, step down. 3, 2, 1, step down. Beautiful. Don't be in a hurry. 3, 2, 1, step down. 3, balance on that leg. Step. 2 more sets. 3, 2, 1, last one. 3, 2, 1, come back. Now for the strength move, put your right foot up on the red line, put your left leg behind and lift the heel up on that back leg. Now balance it and give me a nice stationary lunge. So imagine your back knee is an elevator. Go down the shaft, come up. Lead with the back leg. There's going to be a lot going on here because you've got to stabilize that board with your front foot and drop with the back knee all at the same time. It's a very good move because this is also the way we get down on the floor, right? I know Dan's done a lot of drills to help you get down on the ground. You've got to be in the tandem or the lunge position. You've got to bend and lower your center of gravity and then allow yourself to reach for the floor or a chair nearby. So this strengthens those leg muscles greatly for that action of getting up and down off the ground. So functional. All right, let's do 4 more. Stop when you need to or reduce the range. 3 more. 2. Last one. Awesome. All right, go ahead and step the back foot in. Step the top foot off and just roll through the feet. Release a little bit. Let's do a little heel drop. We haven't done that today yet. Just let those heels pop up and down and bounce on the ground. We do have to get the other stationary lunge in, so let's just shake it off for a second. All right, take the opposite leg now. For most of you, it should be your left leg unless you did the opposite last time. All right, so step back so you have a good lunge position with the back heel up. Find your balance. It's always first. And then add that elevator drop with the back knee as you really work hard to stabilize that board through your foot, the front foot, and your upper body and your arms. Try to keep that board steady. Don't go fast, go slow. On this one, slow and control is the name of the game. So take it nice and slow and up. Again. Ooh, sometimes you got to use your biceps and your hand muscles and your forearm muscles to keep that board steady. There we go. Core up, chin up, chest up. Don't let your upper body round or the chin jet forward. Don't let this happen, okay? So stay tall, get that sternum up. Reduce the range of motion if it's causing any discomfort. Good job, everybody. We got this. Couple more. Woo, last one. Beautiful, awesome. Back foot steps in first, because you gotta get a little closer to your board before you unload the top. All right, heel drops again, but let's go a little wider. Just a slightly different feeling. You gotta really grip up through the gluteals and the pelvic floor. Keep your core high. Whew, I don't know about you, but those lunges got my heart rate going. Awesome. Chin up, chest up. Pull your shoulder blades down for me. Keep them down low. Excellent. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. All right, last circuit set. So we're gonna step up onto our board. So go ahead and bottom out one side, then bring it to the center, and then bring your feet in to the 1-in-1 position. So stand tall and just find your center. Just stand and find it. Just kind of allow your body to wobble a little, and then to kind of find where center is, or best center you can. Now we're gonna start with the right foot. We're just gonna do a slow press out, press in. But every time we press out, we're gonna go a little further until we get towards the edge of that board, and then we're gonna start coming back inward towards the 1. Let's do that again on the right. So we go from 1, towards 2, towards 3, towards 2. So I'm just putting pressure down towards 1, back to center. Again, right side, and then we'll do the third set, and we'll go to the left. Nice, bring it back, bring it center, and then let's bend here for a second, realign around that red line, and let's get that other foot going. So left 1, left 2, left 3, left 2, left 1. Let's do that again. You've got this, just kind of place it out and put some weight in it to rock the board, but you're still keeping the majority of your weight and muscle focus on that leg that isn't moving. It's kind of doing a 1-leg squat, isn't it? Good job. You got this. Stay centered. All right, rock it out center with the feet together. Nice. Take a breath. Excellent. All right, now we're gonna go into a balance move with the right foot down. Put the right foot down on the red line in the middle. Find center with the other foot either on toe tap or up. So whatever you can, try staying just on that right foot. And then if you can handle or manage stabilizing this, then extend and bend as you try to keep level board. I know this is advanced, so feel free just to keep it steady if that's too advanced. Good. Chin and chest high. 4 more. Wiggle your fingers every once in a while. 3 and 2 and 1. Now put the toe back down, not the whole foot, just the toe. And then give me a quarter 1-leg squat. What's that look like? It's just the knee and the hip bend maybe a quarter of the way that they would in a full squat. So you really want to feel this high in that joint, and you want to feel that contraction in those gluteal muscles that straighten your pelvis and level it out. A little deeper feeling. Make sure you're sitting back on it. 4 more, good. 3 more, excellent. 2 more, last one, and then bring both feet down. Whoo, and just let it sway side to side. Ease up, that's a hard series there. Good. And we have to get the other leg going, don't we? All right, so put your left foot on the red line, middle, balance center, and keep your toe down. I call that the kickstand position, where you're still mainly balancing on that one leg, but you have a little extra kickstand to hold you up. Now, if you can, bring that knee up and still stay balanced. You might have to use your hands and your arms a little more to stabilize that board. That's okay. Keep the shoulders down and back, and if you want to challenge further, add that leg extension to the front. Out, in. Excellent. Stay tall. Try to get the quiver out of the board, or out of your leg, or out of your ankle. Where's it hitting you? Keep it steady. Keep it stable. Nice work. Front, back. Again. 4 more. Oop, I lost my red ball. 3, 2. Now hold it again, toe or kickstand on that board, and 1 leg curtsy. just enough down through the hip and knee to where you have to gather it up and dynamically squeeze those muscles in the hip and around the kneecap or knee joint. That's it. Pull up. Beautiful. Sometimes smaller moves give you nice joint action. So see, I'm not going very far back, but I am letting my hip hinge or jut back just enough so that when I come up, I feel those supportive gluteal muscles firing. Here, 4. We got this. 3. Wiggle your fingers. Don't get over grippy. Last one. Awesome. Okay, go ahead and put those feet down again. Woo, let's go a little wider and just lunge out side to side. So let the knee and the toe turn it out a little bit. So I've got more of a plie or sumo squat position. And then let's just use the hips, the knees, and the feet. Watch how I do that. I let my heel come up and then I kind of push it down at a different angle. Now you hopefully are able to turn out enough where your knees don't hit the poles. Just changing a little bit that angle at the hip. Mobilizing, stretching dynamically. Excellent. We got this. And I'm still using a lot of foot muscle, a lot of knee and thigh muscle, a lot of hip and hip rotator muscles. Good. Keep going. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Now stay on the right. Make sure your knee's not hitting your pole. Now you're in a lunge position to the right. Yes? I want you to quarter turn a little bit more so that you're on a nice diagonal. And then from here, all we're going to do is lift the back leg about maybe 2-3 inches up through that hip. My front knee stays bent and my core definitely leans in. Leans in. Good. Contract those abdominals up. Keep that sternum up. Keep that front knee bent. Don't overlift the leg, because if you're feeling it too much in your lower back, then you're lifting the leg too high. Use more of the body lean. Lean and get those back muscles firing. Those spinal posture muscles. 4 more. Good. 3, hip muscle firing. 2, now we're gonna hold the last one. Steady out. Now if you wanna challenge this, take the other arm, thumb up and press. A little pulse. Right there. Now pull your belt line in real tight on this. Don't let your lower back overarch. You've got this. This is so good for posture and for those spinal erector muscles down your vertebra. 4, 3, 2, 1, release. Oh, that was a good one. All right, bring it back to the plie lunge. Toes out, knees out. Shift right and left. We're getting there, gang. We're rounding off for the last set or circuit, and then we're gonna come back with some really nice relaxation stretching. So hang around or stick around so we can get a good stretch together. Nice. Inhale, exhale. Make sure your knees are going in the direction of the toes, that there's a turnout at the hip joint. All right, hold it left. Now pivot a bit so that you're more in a nice diagonal. Lean in and lift that back foot, bending the front knee. You're grounded out on the board, and just give me about a 2, maybe 3-inch lift. Remember, with the lifting, you want to feel it in the buttocks muscle. You don't want to feel it in the lower back. So if you're feeling this in the lower back, you're either not leaning far enough forward or you're overlifting that leg. Reduce it. Up, down, up, down. Good. My front leg stays bent and pretty much in the same position as I lean and contract and stabilize my core. Good. 4 more times. 4 and 3 and 2. Now hold this one and bring the other arm up for a more advanced hold. And if you even want to advance this further, you can do a little pulsing lift. But if you're going to do that, make sure you pull your belt line in real tight. Keep the abdominals engaged and the lower back stable. You don't want it to be at a greater arch than neutral. And the same thing with your neck and head. Make sure your neck is in its neutral position. Good. Up, back, up. Whoo, breathe it out. Come out of this when you need to. In 8, 7, 6, 5, 2, and 1. Bring it back. Okay. Shift back to the center. Bring your feet back to the 2 and 2 position. Oh, let's just do a little shoulder roll and rock. Let's start to cool this thing down and re-energize our muscles and get ready for a nice stretch. Inhale and exhale. So great today. I hope you guys were joining me. We do keep these on the website for quite a while if you miss them. But also keep in mind that you can find a lot of these workouts on the YouTube station. So hopefully, no excuse. If 9 o'clock isn't good for you, catch me at 10 or 11. Just won't be totally live, but it'll be the same workout. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and start to come down off of our board and just bottom out first. I always like you to bottom out before you step back. And then it's easy to unload and get back into the ground position. Before we stretch, we might as well get another drink of water. I always like to stop, and if I don't remember to, thanks Doug, if I don't remember to take a break myself, then I doubt you're remembering to take a water break. So once again, ALS, stevensnation.com, we are dedicating the whole month to ALS awareness. If you missed my long drawn intro. Okay, so what are we gonna do now? We're gonna stretch. Let's go ahead and get that hydration up, then come on back behind the board. Today I'm going to do our stretching from a standing position. I know a lot of times I'll take you down to the seated position, but let's just do our stretching standing today, okay? So I want you to just square off, feet about hip distance apart, shoulders back and down, neck nice and long, holding on to your handles of your 60 up platform. Let's go ahead and take the right arm and bring it up and twist it towards the ceiling as though you're taking a light bulb out of the socket or putting it in the socket. Just allow that to stretch. Inhale and exhale. Now, if this bothers you to raise the arm up by your ear, bring it a little more forward of your body. Usually that will be a bit easier. And then let's go ahead and take that arm and let's reach over to the opposite side, feeling for the stretch down the lateral portions of the body, through the shoulder girdle, through the back, through the ribs. Nice deep breath, inhale and exhale. And then go ahead and bring that arm back up. And this time, take the arm down and behind you, behind your back. So put the palm, I'm gonna turn around real quick just so you can see what it looks like. Okay? So the palm is facing out and pull the shoulder blade down on this side. Don't let it creep up. And just push the chest and chin up and out a little bit and open up across the chest and the front of that shoulder while you hold on to your opposite handle. Make sure you don't arch too much through the lower back. Try making sure the lift is happening at the sternum and the upper back as you pull a little bit across your belt line to stabilize the lower back. Hold here. Take a nice deep breath. I usually like you to think about breath during the cool down because it is an exercise in itself to fill those lungs up and then exhale the air all the way out. Good exercise for lung capacity. And then bring the body back up and steady. Take that back arm and grab the opposite pole so that you now are rotating. And then look behind you with your head, your neck. You can kind of push the pole a little bit to increase the rotation. But try to keep the knees and toes in the same direction and the torso doing the rotation. Nice deep breath. Inhale and exhale. Bend your knees a bit. It's okay to adjust your feet so that the knees and toes stay in alignment. And then untwist and come back with your toes and knees to the front. And let's start the process on the other side. So we're going to reach up with the left arm, and we're just going to kind of do the twisting action in that shoulder girdle, trying to keep everything level, chin parallel to the ground, shoulders level and down, hips level, knees in the direction of the toes, softly bent. Nice, just twisting in and out. Again, if this gives you any discomfort in the shoulder, bring the arm a little forward. We do know that impingement is typical in the shoulder girdle, so sometimes you just have to work around it, right? Nice. And then from here, we're gonna lean and reach across, still holding your pole, opening up the rib cage, opening up the lats or the back muscles, holding and breathing, staying tall. 3 deep breaths. Come back up. Take that arm down and behind you. Remember on this one, you want to try to get the palm so it's facing out and the shoulder so that it's pulling down, and you're going to feel a nice stretch in the shoulder girdle as well as the neck on that side. Hold it and breathe. Inhale and exhale. And then we're going to take that arm and cross and then twist our torso. Let your toes move a little bit so your knees and toes don't get in an awkward position. And look behind with your head, your chest, your shoulders, your abdominals. Everything twists to the side for a nice spinal twist. Nice deep breath. And then slowly come back and realign your knees and toes to the front. Bring your feet in a little bit so that they're right underneath the hips and pelvis. Bend over at the hips, keeping the back flat, and just feel for a nice stretch in the hamstrings down the back of those thighs. Hold on, grip onto your poles, but let your hands slide down to where you're comfortable. And then rock back through the feet. So let your toes and forefoot come up, and then put your toes down. So I'm not rocking my body, I'm rocking my ankles. So my toes are coming up and the weight is shifting more into the heels, and I'm gonna feel a little more stretching tension down the hamstrings and the calves. Nice, keep it going. Try to keep your back and your head in good alignment. A couple more. Inhale and exhale. Stretching the back of those legs. Keeping the back flat or neutral. One more time. And then we're gonna come and climb back up the poles. Nice posterior stretch there. We're gonna turn to the right, going to that runner's lunge again, pushing the back heel down, stepping the front foot forward so that your knee stays well behind the tip of the toe. And then just kind of push your hip structure a little bit forward as you give me a little bit more bend in that front knee. But again, you're trying to keep the knee behind the tip of the front toe. But here's where the stretch should be moving into that hip flexor. Keep the chest up, keep the chin up, and then hold it down at the deepest posture you can. Try to keep the back leg straight, keep a little set of tension across your waist, and then give me a few deep breaths here. This is such an important stretch for the hip flexors. You can bend the back knee a little bit to see how that changes the way you feel the stretch, but just a little bit, maybe 10 degrees. Excellent. And then we're gonna take and swivel to the front, take your time, swivel to the opposite direction. Again, from a nice wide stance, you're gonna go into that runner's lunge, and you're just gonna rock that hip forward and back. So the focus is getting that hip to move forward and opening up that hip flexor while staying really tall and tight through your spine, through your neck. Everything else stays nice and tall and tight. And if you feel like you're not getting enough of a stretch, make it a wider stride, okay? Here we go, a couple more. We're almost done for today. Now hold it at its deepest part or furthest lunge. And if you want, you can wiggle that back leg further back or bend the knee slightly to see how that feels to affect the stretch both in the hip and the calf of that back leg. Sometimes change between the two. If you feel too much arch in the back, lean into it a bit so that your lower back doesn't have to arch so much. Hold it for those nice deep breaths. Push that heel down, push that hip forward. Hold for 4, hold for 3, strong and long through the spine. Hold for 2 and 1. And then gently ease up through the feet and walk them back to the center. Make sure you lift your heels so that you can pivot and bring the feet and toes together. Hands on top, shoulder blades shrug down, ear to shoulder stretch. 3 deep breaths. Close your eyes for a second. Enjoy the stretch. Other side, head up, shoulder blades back and down, ear to opposite shoulder. 3 deep breaths. Head back to center, hands off. Nice, deep, energizing breath up if you can. Pull in the energy, put it right there. And again, thank you for joining me today on Wellness Wednesday. Oop, almost tripped on my board. Wellness Wednesday, 60 Up. Hopefully you'll join me every Wednesday, and I will come back and check on the chat box throughout the week, so you can always make comments or ask questions directly to me, Dan, or Debbie. We love to be able to stay interactive, so the more you ask, the more we can interact. So thank you again. Please share the blessing of fitness and health with all those around you, and have a special prayer and thought in your mind for those that are suffering with ALS, since this is ALS Awareness Month. To find out more about my nephew, you can go to www.stevensnation.com. Again, thank you. Signing off, Kathy Stevens, Wellness Wednesday, 60 Up.